Good morning. Hey, guys, I want to, this is a two-part thing. Number one, it's a speech for school. Number two, it relates ironically to exactly what we're doing right now. And I was asked to do a speech on, you'll never believe it, God works in a mysterious way. Take one guess what I had to write a speech on.
Being on time.
Time management. And I'm like, that is so fitting right now because that's something that I'm working on with all of us here, is time management. So I did some real research. I typed a real paper and I'm gonna provide a real speech. And I was pretty happy with what I learned. So here I go. Time management. I have to ask you all a question. How do you feel about time? Do you feel like that you have all the time in the world?
No.
Nope.
I feel like I need more time.
There's not enough time.
Not enough time? How about you, Mr. Cobb? You got enough time?
Some days.
Someday?
Yeah.
Billy working till 9 o'clock at night?
That was one night out of the year.
He's like, that'll never happen again.
Yes. How many of you feel as though you will eventually get to fixing something at the house? You'll eventually get to painting your truck, eventually fix your car. You'll eventually repair your relationship with a loved one or spouse. You'll eventually reach out to your kids. You'll eventually talk to that person that you stopped talking to. You'll eventually be on time for work. How many of you have taken the time to start saving for retirement?
Well, of course.
Wow. You got Andy, I knew Andy. For some reason,
I'm a
I
cheap
picture you
ass.
just having like bags of money and like
Starting
secret
next year.
compartments.
Yeah, my old 45 and they're saving.
Yeah, it took me up to
Andrew's been
45
saving.
to start saving.
Yeah. That's about the age you save. At about 45, you start thinking about retirement.
Uh-huh.
Saving.
Yeah, I think for another 40 years I'll be retired. If I make it that long.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of like a one day at a time guy.
Yeah.
One day at a
Think
time.
about
I like
retirement tomorrow.
it. Very fitting for this time speech. How many of you take time to work on your budget each day? And you take the time to really talk to your spouse or your loved one or
My wife
with
does
yourself?
I do
Wife
that.
just does that.
I don't talk to anybody
I
about it.
couldn't answer yes. I want to answer questions.
She does that.
I'm getting better at it.
Even if I did, she wouldn't let me touch it.
Yeah, 'cause she
She's
always
an
wanna
accountant,
talk
so.
when I get home about business.
And it's easy to talk about time for money and time for repairing a relationship. How many of you take time to do simple things like just pray to God?
Oh, shit.
Amen.
You better ask for forgiveness
Have
for
you?
that last word.
Yeah, especially your situation with your wife.
Yeah.
You're gonna be talking to that guy a lot.
Yeah.
How many of you have really analyzed your time? And I mean this in this way because I really took this seriously and I analyzed my time. I researched how much time I spent making and buying coffee. I was disgusted. It was almost a quarter of my life was devoted to making and buying coffee when I added my total free time up. That doesn't count the time that you need to sleep, doesn't count for the time you need to rest or eat. I just took time that I used to go to Starbucks or go to the effort of making coffee. It was a quarter of my life. And I don't mess with our dunking time at 2 o'clock. I make sure I make the time to go get that coffee. That's
Yeah.
my coffee time.
We all pretty much try to do that.
Yeah.
It seems lately.
Going through a divorce, I was really challenged by this question. How much time do I spend with my kids and my children? Do that again, that was cool. But the time I spent with them is, when they lived with them, I took for granted. They were just there. Now that they're not always just there, the time I get with them is like intensified, it's magnified. I know, Benny, you talk about your son and like, if you don't leave for work, give him a hug or a kiss or something, it bothers you.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. How much time do you truly spend with your wife or significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? And is it time that should be, is it time that you guys spend arguing, or is it time that you guys actually spend forgiving and working on things and reconciling and trying to make things better? How much time do you spend for self-improvement, meaning exercise?
That's funny.
Go for a walk, being conscious of your diet, of what you put into your mouth? You?
I do.
I like that, man.
I do, yeah.
I like that, Benny. I'm gonna make you do this speech, because I'm all fired up just seeing the reaction. How do you monitor your time? Because I never track time. I just got up, went to work, did my thing, went home. You know, if I had to stop and pick up groceries, or if the wife told me to get something, that was how I managed my time. I just did it because that's what I had to do, get up at 8, be at work, blah, 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 blah. How do you really monitor your time? I challenge you to do that. It will open your eyes. What are you doing with your free time?
More work. Sleep.
Yeah,
More work.
Eat, sleep.
cut the grass.
Yeah, more work.
You're a kid.
Falls into more work category, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friggin' Jimmy.
The last 3 questions are not to be directed at anyone, because I'm on this. Ask yourself, are you on time? Do you value time? And do you understand time? I mean, we all know how to record it, right? How many hours are in a day? How many minutes in an hour? How many seconds in a minute? We all know that, right? Did you know there was a timeline when they built the earth? Allegedly, it took God 6 days to create the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes us 30 days to fix a car. And everything that we know, the air we breathe, the universe, the stars, the water, the animals, the plants, the flowers, the wind, the weather. Think about how incredible that is for 6 days. Pretty astounding. The good times, the bad times, the memories, the romantic times, the passionate times, the happy times, the sad times, and times you're angry, the times you're mad. It all was created in 6 days. Pretty powerful, think about it. Did you know our founding fathers had a timeline when they did the Bill of Rights? Did you know they had a timeline when they put the Constitution together? Nothing just said, I'll get to it tomorrow. Nothing was ever done like, I'll do it when I get a chance. They got together and said, hey, we're gonna have a timeline of when we want to accomplish these goals. They stuck to it. So, Benny, I'm gonna ask you again, if you were paying attention, how many minutes are there in an hour?
60 minutes in an hour.
You are correct. Did you know that it only takes less than 1 minute to apologize to somebody?
Yes.
You got 60 of them every hour, and you have 24 hours every day. You have 365 days in a year, so you have endless supplies of minutes to ask for an apology, to say that you're sorry, to really change who you are. It only takes less than one of those 60 minutes that we get in every hour. Yet, we will spend an entire lifetime debating and justifying why we can't ask for forgiveness, or why we need to be mad at someone, or why we can't do this, or why we can't be on time for work, or why I couldn't fix that. We spend more time saying why we can't do something, rather than spending less time knowing that we absolutely can. I'm guilty of it. Did you know everything in this life is based on time? Everything. Why do we celebrate birthdays if time is irrelevant? What's the significance of turning 21 if it's irrelevant? What's the significance of saying goodbye and hello if time was not relevant? What's the significance of waking up if time wasn't relevant? If you're on time with most of your schedules in your life, going to church, paying your bills, you're going to find something ironic. If you absolutely, truly value time, like Andy, and Benito apparently, and Rich, you will learn that you will be probably successful in other areas of your life. If you like sports like Randy does, the quarterback has a play clock that he has to control the game with. He's got so many seconds to snap the ball and get rid of the ball, to implement a play. If you like boxing or UFC, each round has a time limit of which these guys beat the crap out of each other. And then they call the time before it goes to the next round. Even in sports, if you're having a hard time with something, what do? They call what? What do they call a timeout for? They're regrouping their thoughts, they're re-strategizing, they're getting on the same page, right? Trying to maximize the time.
They're getting scared.
Yeah. And the phone's ringing, it'll go to voicemail. I'm almost done with this speech. I'm challenging you now to get up 15 minutes earlier than you normally do. I'm challenging you now when you, to maybe get up an hour earlier, go for a run, go to the gym, maybe get that cup of coffee. Tell yourself you're gonna set a goal and complete it. Hold yourself accountable. Mike, today you might say, I'm gonna finish 3 cars by 3:30. By 11, check in with yourself, hold yourself accountable. See how you're doing with hitting that goal. See if you're on time to making that happen. Take time to call an old friend, a relative that you lost connection with. Take time to go help an elderly neighbor. If you don't know what to do with your time, go back to school. Maybe book more hours at work, join a group, read a book, take a cooking class, maybe do a Bible study, go for a walk, watch a documentary, whatever you do at your time, feature plan. In the 80s, there was a song by Cyndi Lauper that said time after time. I don't know if you guys remember that. In the 90s, there was a song called Right Here, Right Now.
He's dope.
In the early 2000s, there was a song by Linkin Park called Shadow of the Day. The reality is all those songs are countless songs about time and how they wish they had more of it. The most precious thing in this whole world is time. Yet you can't pick it up, you can't hold it, you can't make more of it, you can't grow it, you can't buy it, you can't make money on it. It is what it is. Your time is your time. When the clock stops, that's it. When there's no more time, there is nothing. There's nothing. When you utilize your time, there's a transformation. If time is the essence, then I suggest to you that you be the essence of time. Make every second count. Start living and stop dying. Maximize your time. That's my speech.